In this video, we're going to show you how to install the exterior door handle on your Toyota Tundra, located on the rear doors. With the rear door open, there is a retainer button. I'm going to use a small pocket screwdriver and just gently push in on the center, and that will release the locking mechanism of it. And remove that button and set that aside. Pull back on this handle. You can use a trim tool or a pocket screwdriver. Get right behind here and pry this little cover out. That exposes a Phillips head screw. Loosen and remove that. Once you have this screw out, we're going to move to the interior door pull area, right down inside here. In most cases, there's going to be a little felt pad in here. You can go ahead and use your trim tool or pocket screwdriver to pop that out. Ours is missing, but it does expose a Phillips head screw. Loosen and remove that. Using a trim tool, we want to pop off our window lock trim bezel. Gently go up and under, releasing the two retaining pins or clips. Pull that over. Press down on this little locking tab here to release the harness. Set that aside. Now I want to pull our door panel. Use your plastic trim tool. I'm going to work our way down. And we want to release the plastic pins, locking this onto the door shell. Once you're able to release one of those, you can get two hands in and gently pull out. Do this all the way around the perimeter. Before we remove this here, with our door panel loose, we now want to go ahead and pop our little lamp out here using a pocket screwdriver. Gently get between the lens and the panel and just pry that out gently. Then we can press in on this little tab, release the lock, and disconnect the harness. We have our upper B pillar trim right here. Use your trim tool, get in there, just pry that out and gently pop this off. Now if you happen to leave these little buttons here, you can use your trim tool and pop that off. We're going to reuse that. Pop that out, and you can install it back onto the panel. Now we're going to pull out on the door panel, and it's going to pivot on the top area here. Once we lift this up and off, there's going to be two cables attached to the back side of this. So we want to go ahead and disconnect those. Gently lift up. Now these here, you simply want to pull these straight out and then pivot the cable until the ball end pops out. Do the same for the bottom. Once these cables are disconnected, you can now pull the door panel off and set it aside. Using a trim tool, we can go ahead and remove these rubber grommets. Just pry those out. Set those aside. Now through the upper window here or the lower window, you can see that this rod here is attached to the handle itself, and there's a yellow retainer clip. Now you can sometimes just use your finger to reach in there and push that clip over, dislodging it from that rod. I'm using a 90-degree pick right here. Push that clip off to the side. Then I'm going to use my pick here to disengage that rod. So I'm going to grab the outside handle and I'm going to operate it and then put my pick in there. Now that we have that rod separated, just above it, diagonal up, and then through the lower window is going to be a pair of 10mm nuts. We need to loosen and remove those. Now access through the upper window here, you can see that there is one bolt right here. That is a 10mm, so we're going to use our socket and extension with our 1/4-inch drive. Once you break that loose, you should be able to just remove that ratchet and just spin that socket. And it's going to come to a point where that nut is going to be loose. You want to be careful not to drop that down inside. Now there's going to be one just down below through the second window. Going to loosen and remove that one as well. I'm going to hold the outside portion of the handle too while we loosen this. I'm going to use my magnet to go in after that. There we go. Now we can pull the handle out from the front side. We're now going to insert the new handle, get these studs lined up in the body. Let's move to the inside and install the two nuts and snug those down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the nut, put it inside the socket. I'm going to hold the handle in place. I'm going to feed this in and get it on the upper stud and get that started. I'll thread that on as far as I can by hand, and then we'll do the same for the lower. Let's go ahead and snug that down with your ratchet. And once it bottoms out, just give it a little bit more. Make sure that it's good and snug. Do the same for the upper. Bottomed out, snug. We're going to move our rod over and up into place. I'm going to get that lined up and push that in. And once that rod is inside, you want to go ahead and push over on this clip and locking that on. Install your rubber grommets. And bring your door panel up. Go ahead and install your cables. Once these are locked in, we can bring the door panel up, set it up on top of the door sill, and press it down into place. Pull the electrical connector up and out for your power window switch, and then down at the bottom of the door panel, pull out the harness for the lamp. You want to line up the plastic door pins, the locking pins, with the door shell. Once that lines up, go ahead and press that door panel on, securing that all around. Install the harness, push this up inside, snap that into place. Install the retainer button. Now our original one had broke, so we had sourced a replacement. Install your upper trim panel here. Install the door pull screw. Once that's secure, you can install your little felt pad if your vehicle has it. Let's install the upper screw. Snug that down. Install your little trim piece. Install the harness for your power window switch. Line this up and just press down. Snapping that on. Go ahead and close that door and then give it a test. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.